Morning, everyone. Welcome back for day 9 of our 15 days of morning study calls. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are tuning in today for today's session together. We are going to get started writing out your wants. Write out what you really want in the present tense using positive language. If you have been working with me in the GPS for New Success Inner Circle, or even in the club, you may have formed a C-type goal already. Feel free to take some time to write out the written description of this C-type goal now. And if you are still discovering what you want, just explore what you want. Write that out now. Let's begin. Just a little side note, because I know yesterday we had a couple of people ask about the C-type goals. So if you are in the Elevate Frequency Club and you go into, you have access to the vault, which is like all of the previous month recordings. If you go back to the very early months, so like June, July, August, when we launched the club, and you study those trainings, you get a better idea about what a C-type goal is and how to set one or how to discover what it is. If you're in GPS, lesson three will help you really become aware and draw out those desires and look at those personal and professional goals. If you are in my inner circle, you can send me your goal via email, also your self-image script, and I can give you some more direct feedback and support around setting that and clearing up that C-type goal and your self-image script that goes with it. So a few different ways there just to work on that. Yeah. All right, let's have a look at our self-image. I am talking quietly, so you'll have to listen in, nice and focused on today's call. Let's just go over here. All right, so today we're going to look at part two of our winning self-image. This is not work we want to skip over. This is why we have two different lessons on this in the GPS for New Success, and ultimately we look at it for at least 2 weeks with two deep lessons on it. So lesson 9 focuses on how we embody this new self-image rather than striving for outcomes. We can't create results we can't hold within our self-image. So even though we know we need a new self-image in order to create the results that we want, we also need to learn how to hold that self-image. How do we hold ourselves to a standard that's new for us when our subconscious mind is so used to setting and achieving goals in a certain way and also creating results in a certain way? When results start to show up in a way that's unexpected, it will feel uncomfortable. So we have to get you and help you to be creating and holding this new self-image so that you can embody the result, therefore attract the result, therefore manifest the result, rather than just striving and straining to reach a certain outcome. Lasting change occurs when the identity is lived daily in decisions, energy, and behavior. And let me caution you, your new self-image should show up when you are driving a car, when you are unstacking a dishwasher, when you're getting the kids out the door to the school, when you are going for a run in the morning, when you are sitting down at your desk to do your job, when you're helping employees. Your new self-image should, you want it to be fully present in all aspects of your day. So even though we might set a professional C-type goal and we build a self-image, that energy, that identity is embodied in all aspects of our life. As the new self-image becomes familiar, the results no longer feel forced. So the more familiar, it's like you're writing this character script for the movie of your own life, right? You're writing this when you have decided what it is that you want, where you want to go, what you want your life to look like, how the movie's going to play out. Then you've got this character script and you've got to play the leading role. But you've got to get to know it, don't you? Just like an actor doesn't pick up their script and they're good at it on day one. They learn to play the actor. They learn to play the character. And they end up playing it so well that you forget when you're watching the movie that they're actually acting. Agreed? Type me a yes if you can make that connection. Type me a yes in the chat. Right? They had to practice becoming the character. They might have gone and done training. They might have gone and learned a new skill. They might have got a dialect coach. They dress differently. They walk differently. They have a different belief. They believe different things. It's exactly the same when you, excuse me for a second, when you are becoming the character that you have written, the script of you, right? You are playing that character until it feels so normal to play that character that you forget you're playing the character. And the results no longer feel forced or encouraged or like you're trying to get something. It unfolds naturally because you're aligned with it. A winning self-image is built through repetition, emotional involvement, and consistency. So we're reading, we're visualizing ourselves in a certain way. We might be reading our self-image script. Um, if you are not in the GPS for new success or in my inner circle, I don't expect you to know or to have a self-image script developed. But what you can do is generally write a script for your life. Think about what you want. Think about all the different aspects of your life. And you can put that in a script for life, an overall kind of guiding script for life. You can write that in the present tense with positive language. It's a good place to start. So if you're not in GPS and you're not in inner circle, I don't expect you to have a self-image script developed. You don't need to be concerned about that. But what you can do is generally have a script for life, what you would love, how you'd like things to be. You can write that in the present tense, positive, like I'm so happy and grateful now that. And you can start to get involved with repetition with that. That'll help you anchor a new identity in the first instance, and it'll help you make those next decisions for joining GPS, for getting into inner circle, for getting into the club. Because you're anchoring, you're starting to accept new standards and new results for yourself. Emotional involvement, start to visualize yourself and accept the idea for yourself, right? Accept that this is the new version of you. In fact, I had I'll tell you the story in a minute, and consistency, right? If we do something the first time, we're not very good at it. If we only ever go for one run, we're not going to become very good at it. If we only ever do one circuit in an aeroplane, we're never really going to learn how to fly the aeroplane. If we only do this work once, we're not going to become very good at it. We might be like, oh, yeah, I remember how to do that. But it doesn't mean that we've been consistent, that it's become part of our self-image, that we've changed the paradigm. All we've done is expand our awareness for one moment. We may have gathered some new knowledge. And this is like I say, the pandemic of the personal development industry. There's so much micro content. People are bouncing around the internet from one book, from one group, from one YouTube video to the next, gathering more knowledge, but the results aren't changing. The results aren't changing because the paradigm hasn't changed. There's no repetition, emotional involvement, and consistency. Excuse me. I'm not used to talking so quietly. I have two boys. I talk for a living and I have two boys. I'm not used to whispering. I'm trying to keep them asleep. Um, so that is our work around self-image. Interestingly, last night I was putting the bins out. I noticed it was I don't know if it was a full moon or it was a nearly full moon. So the boys were like reading, getting ready for bed. So I was putting the bins out and I just stood there for a second. And I just stood on the grass, feet on the ground, barefoot, happened to be barefoot. And I was looking up at the moon, hands on my heart, and I was just having a moment of gratitude and talking out loud to the moon. Probably, if someone had seen it, they were like, she needs a doctor. Um, and I was just, thank you so much for this beautiful and blessed life that I have. Thank you for my parents, for my healthy boys, for being so cherished and loved. Thank you for things working out. Thank you for my clients. Like, was just having this little moment there about all the things that I appreciate. Spontaneous. And then from behind, this massive black bat flew like I was being swooped over the top of my head, so close that I could hear the wings and feel the wind of the wings. And I put my hand on my head, and first of all, I was like, whoa, that was a bat. That was a bit gross because, no one wants a bat that close to them. Anyway, I was like, that's got to mean something. So, intuitively, I was like, there is some message in that for me. So, anyway, I came back inside and I quickly Googled, as I do. I love to find a message or a symbolism in a sign. Um, you know, bat flew overhead or whatever it was. And it was all about, the little message for me in the moment, which was so perfect, was trusting that inner guide, you know, um, the death of the old, the reborn of the new, uh, appropriate around a full moon, trusting in the unseen, you're being guided. But the big thing was about being reborn, rebirth, transition, new things. And I was like, well, that's pretty. Like that's pretty special for me personally. Coming into my birthday month, Aries, full moon, having asked for guidance, standing out there, noticing it was for all of those little things. So when we're anchoring our new self-image, and I'm on day 88, as I said yesterday, so I'm writing out my goal, my paradigm shift with my opposite hand. It was just like a little nudge from the universe, just a little bit and the truth is we all receive signs all the day. Our intuition is a faculty. It's not a sense, it's not a spirit. Our intuition is a faculty. And as we put out what we want and as we ask for guidance, we are always receiving it. It's just whether the phone is off the hook when the message comes through, right? It's just whether we're paying attention. And we might get signs in all kinds of different ways. And then whether we join the dots, of we follow the nudges, we follow the go look that up, we follow the messages. So that can really help us, for me, being able to come back in and just be like, just lean right back on yourself. Everything is unfolding, everything is coming to you, everything is working out. Um, was a beautiful message, particularly around self-image, anchoring in the new, reborn, rebirth, new results. And I've been doing this for so long. I am over 20 years self-employed at 41. I'm 41 in a month. So I've been self-employed since I was 18, and teaching and doing this work for over a decade, 12 years, but 15 years as a coach and mentor. Before that, I had a branding and marketing business. I had an events management business, Australian Outback Events. From the mechanical, from the outside self-image work of branding companies, of developing logos, of marketing, brochures, websites, doing that 20 years ago, all of that external, and now I've gone all the way back into the internal, working with how we actually bring ideas to life. And interestingly, my company tagline on my logo is bringing ideas to life. It has been that for 22 years. Initially, it was around photography, design and marketing and website design, because that's what my first business was in. All of that external self-image. And really, it's really no surprise when you think about it that I've gone all the way through that in working with clients and businesses into, well, what's driving it? What's your goal? What do you want to achieve out of this business? What's the message? What's your brand message? And then through all of then my psychology and organizational analysis and neuroscience study and working with Bob Proctor for over however many years, we've come all the way back into the inner image. What is the inner image that drives our outer results? What is that inner mental image that we hold of ourselves as the leader who has to hold a standard for a company in order to create results at a certain level? What is that first input, that nucleus, that goal that then drives the self-image, that holds the standard, that can produce the results that you really want? That's what this work is about, getting things into the right order, then we can produce the right external results that we want to line up with it all. So I hope you enjoyed that tiny little tip of the iceberg into a winning self-image part two. And that's something also, if you're still unfamiliar with the GPS for New Success, this is my signature 15-week paradigm shift program for new success. And as you can tell, there is this, you know, I guess all of these layers to what I teach. And the GPS is the program that we can hold all of it. So I can bring in all of this other work that I haven't been able to teach in my coaching programs before. And we've brought it in through the GPS for New Success. So yes, it is a pathway for new success, no matter what level you're at. But I can go so much deeper into these concepts with all of the work and all of the mentorship over 2 decades of study and research and training and coaching clients in lots of different ways over 20 years. You're now the beneficiary of that in the GPS Success program and in my inner circle of excellence. Okay, let's have a look at the quantum leap ritual now. And we're going to start off with step one, which is to get still and relax. Take those big, deep breaths in and really bring us home to ourself. We've got this beautiful, positive, powerful, unconditional source energy that we're connected with. This beautiful energy that'll take any idea we turn over to it and begin at once to move it into physical form. And you're now going to think form into that energy. You're going to start to anchor an image. So trace around an image that symbolizes your goal, or sketch out a little image or a symbol. We're starting to focus our conscious mind into the image of what we want. We think in pictures. So even though we wrote in words what we want, we now want to form an image of what we want. We want to see what we want as an image, or an image that represents the success and the results that we want. So we're using our conscious mind to focus that energy into an image form. Then we are going to read our goal out loud, or read out a list of your wants. Again, we can think anything we want into form. So let's talk about what we want, not what we don't want. Let's talk about what we want. I'm going to put myself on mute while I do this. And now I want you to close your eyes and I want you to visualize yourself in possession of what you want. This is now moving that unconditional energy into a form for you, to and through you. So as you hold this image steady, you're on day 8, so you're starting to get a little bit of power and repetition happening here. You're actually naturally, with repetition, impressing that on your subconscious mind. So let's begin. down any action steps or ideas that have come to you during that visualization and finish by writing out your quantum leap sentence. Just to anchor and finish your practice. And then once you've done that, you'll feel free to log off. It's here now. Well, that is us for today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I wish you a beautiful and a blessed day wherever you are in this wonderful world of ours. Stay well, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Take care, everyone. Oh, Simone, do we have a integration and calibration call today for clients? I believe we do. So just keep a lookout of that if you are in GPS or in a circle. There is a call with me today at 11 a.m. You can tune in on for extra help and support. And we'll see everyone else tomorrow morning. Take care, everyone. Bye.